guys, welcome to WikiVox channel where the search for the truth begins. Some may call this video a conspiracy theory or a fiction, but when we hear the current news from China, there are possibilities these events may happen within 2 months or maybe 2 years. So let's come to the conclusion that this is a prediction video which may happen if China continues its current path. South China Morning Post is China's propaganda machine. So the CCP's views or ideas will be delivered by this website to the world directly or indirectly. This is the purpose of the news media called South China Post. We can also include Global Times as well. In South China Morning Post's website, there is information that the Chinese army is ready for a possible invasion of Taiwan. Is this the only website the news is available? No, this news is available in many media. This is China's way to take control of Taiwan. There are so many facts and truths in this news. The reason is when the American presidential election begins or ends, within the time frame China has to take over Taiwan. Suppose if China doesn't do that, Taiwan will remain free from the clutches of the dragon, says the world analyst. What will happen if there is war? This scenario if it happens in the future. So before we go into the prediction, let's discuss the current situation. In the South China Sea and East China Sea, China has changed the missile locations which were targeted towards Taiwan. China has replaced it with more advanced missiles. A satellite image has been released. Which missiles have been replaced? The old hypersonic missiles such as DF-11 and DF-15s are replaced by D-17 hypersonic missiles. China has also stationed S-400 anti-missile system against Taiwan. If any jet fighter leaves the airfield from Taiwan, the S-400 will become armed and active. The S-400 has a range of 600 kilometers. From China, it is only 160 to 170 kilometers to Taiwan. So if any Taiwan jet fighters are in the air and if there is a war, then China can easily destroy Taiwan's air force. China is fully locked and loaded. The Chinese president has instructed his troops on preparing for war. Anytime war can happen, so the troops should be ready. Is this war against Taiwan? Taiwan president has said that Taiwan has no relations with China after 2016. The reason is the Taiwanese president Tsai Ing-wen. Tsai was against the domination of China. She was elected president in 2016. She is re-elected again as the president for the second time in 2020. After she becomes president, she calls Donald Trump and talks for 10 minutes. China was furious after hearing this event. When Taiwan celebrated its National Day, Indians congratulated the nation and it was trending on Twitter. Indians sent their wishes to Taiwan as a separate country. When the Taiwan presidential inauguration happened, Indians and Americans were invited and they attended ceremony. All these events are fuel to the already enraged dragon China. In 2019, the Chinese president says that Taiwan cannot be peacefully included into China. If it doesn't happen, then there will be war. Is this the time for war against Taiwan by China? After the American presidential elections, America will not let go of Taiwan to China. So China has to act quickly to solve the Taiwan crisis because they don't have much time. The world is already blaming China for the coronavirus and the economic crisis throughout the world. So China's economy will take a hit in the coming years. If this happens, China cannot act against Taiwan. Many countries are ready to supply arms to Taiwan. Taiwan's position in the international community is increasing. China doesn't want this to happen. They have to put a stop to the Taiwan crisis. So China's only way is a war against Taiwan. This news has been released by the Chinese media. How can China defeat Taiwan? There are 4 stages for China to achieve its goal. The first stage is China has to face America. Why should China act against America? If China occupies Taiwan, China will become the greatest threat to America in the Pacific. Taiwan has 15 deep seaports. So if China occupies Taiwan, then China's navy strength will increase 10 times. So if there is a war against China and Taiwan, America will definitely declare war against China. China's plan will be to destroy the American satellites in space with missiles. China may try to hack the American satellites. This will be China's first stage of attack. China's second stage will be targeting American military bases. In Japan, there are American military bases. In the Pacific, America has many military bases in small islands. China has to destroy these American military bases. If China does it successfully, this will enable the Chinese Navy to be deployed. Whether it's small or big American military bases, China has to destroy each and every one of them. This is China's second stage. Thirdly, when destroying the American military bases, simultaneously China has to launch its missiles against Taiwan. The reason is Taiwan has already stationed missiles against China. The Taiwan missiles targets are China's main economic hubs. So when China is destroying the American military bases, it has to destroy the missiles which are in Taiwan. If China fails to destroy the Taiwan missiles, then the Taiwan missiles will hit their targets and it will affect the Chinese economy heavily, thus resulting in a defeat for China. The last and the fourth stage, America will be on red alert now. Americans could have arrived at the Taiwan Strait at this time of war. China has to fight the Americans in the Taiwan Strait. After this, Chinese troops have to travel 161 kilometers through Taiwan Strait and begin its invasion. So these are China's strategies of war if it happens in the future. What will be the actions of America, India and Russia? When America receives the message China is going to invade Taiwan or China have destroyed the first American satellite, America will go into full alert. For America, it's a two-stage war. In the first stage, America will lose to China. But in the second stage, America will keep hitting China so they cannot immediately react. Let's discuss the American first stage of the attack. Before we discuss it, we must know about the first chain and second chain concept. If there is a war between China and Taiwan, there are so many islands in the region. There are so many countries in the area. America has military bases in each and every country. The islands which belong to Japan, the Philippines and South Korea. The American troops in the first chain of islands will fight against the Chinese troops. If the first chain of islands is broken and China has gone through it, then comes the second chain of islands which belong to Japan, Australia and New Zealand. There are 4 islands which are under this second chain of islands. These two chains have been created as a war strategy against China by America. America has already signed agreements with the countries which own these islands. America has already built its military bases surrounding China. So China, to win the war, has to break these two chain of islands. America will focus on these two chain of islands to fight against China. When China is destroying the American military bases in the islands, 3 American aircraft carriers may come to the Taiwan Strait. When the 3 American aircraft carriers arrive, the Chinese Air Force will try to destroy these aircraft carriers. So, the fighting will be tense. Analysts say that 2 of American aircraft carriers will be fully destroyed and will be sunk. 1 aircraft carrier will survive the battle. China's aircraft carriers and submarines cannot fight against the strong American Navy. Chinese Navy can't survive for 1 hour against the American Navy if there is a war. The single American aircraft carrier will destroy the Chinese Navy. But America will not be able to handle the air attack. The survived American aircraft carrier will return to America. When the carrier reaches America, it will give the full information about Chinese formations, locations and strategies. After the information is passed, the drones will start their flight from America. America will send its many fake flights among the drones. The drones will send real-time information of Chinese troops and Air Force to America. America will unleash its 5th generation jet fighters on China. These fighters will destroy all Chinese sources and troops. When this happens, the Chinese Navy would have been hit hard. Americans now know the information about the missiles and Chinese air bases. So American Air Force will destroy the Chinese air bases. China would continue to destroy the American military bases. This is America's first stage, where America would have lost many bases and 2 aircraft carriers. Many American jet fighters may be shot down and American soldiers would be dead. But America will take the second stage carefully. The information from the first stage of attack is in America's hands. They will know the locations of the Chinese missile systems. America will unleash its F-35B, the world's first supersonic stealth aircraft. This F-35B has short takeoff and vertical landing variant. These aircraft don't need any runway. So Americans will use their F-35Bs effectively. America will send F-35Bs from various locations towards China. America will now have the full information to destroy the Chinese army and missile systems. F-35Bs will do their jobs perfectly. Taiwan will also have access to F-35B aircraft. For so many years, Taiwan has been requesting F-35B aircraft from America. China is saying not to give Taiwan F-35B aircraft. If China goes to war with America, then surely America will provide these jet fighters to Taiwan. So the state-of-art aircraft from Taiwan and America will destroy the anti-missile systems of China. America now will start its propaganda war. America will inform Japan that China has destroyed its military bases located in the Japanese islands. Japan will declare war against China immediately. The Philippines, New Zealand and Australia will declare war against China. Already there are issues between Australia and China. South Korea will also declare war against China. So all these countries will go to war against China. Now is the time America will turn towards India. America will request India to deploy its troops on the border with China. Then the game will get serious and intense. Let's discuss this further in the upcoming video. We will discuss what Russia will do. Why is India deploying its troops on the border? Will India declare war against China? What will be Russia's stance? We will discuss this all in the next video. Comments about this video are most welcome. Please do subscribe and share for more content to Wikivox, the voice of Tamil Pokisham. Please give a like and please hit the notification icon. Nandri, Vanakkam.